Find the measure of angle AEB, the measure of angle CED, and the measure of angle AEC. An expression is given for the measure of angle AEB as well as the measure of angle CED. We can use this to find the measure of each angle. Vertical angles are two non-adjacent angles formed by intersecting lines. Remember, vertical angles are congruent. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 4. Vertical angles are always congruent. With this said, we can set the measures are equal to each other. If the angles are congruent, then the measures are equal to each other. Substitute our values in, and now solve for x. Subtract 3x from both sides, subtract 9 from both sides, divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 2. X is equal to 4. Now I can evaluate my answer. We will substitute 4 in for x, multiply, and add. If the measure of angle CED is 29 degrees, the measure of angle AEB will also be 29 degrees. Let's check. Substitute 4, 20 plus 9 is 29 degrees. For us to find the measure of angle AEC, we can see that angle AEB and angle AEC share a side. If you share a side, that means you are adjacent. Since the two non-adjacent sides form opposite rays, that means that these two angles form what we call a linear pair. Linear pairs are two adjacent angles that create a line. The two angles are supplementary. Therefore, if I know one of my angles, I know the other angle is its supplement. So therefore, I can say the measure of angle AEC plus the measure of angle AEB is equal to 180. Since I know that the measure angle AEB is 29 degrees, I could substitute that in. Subtract 29 from both sides, the measure of angle AEC is 151. Since 151 plus 29 is 180. Since our quadrilateral is inscribed inside the circle, since all four vertices are on the circle, we know that the opposite angles are supplementary. Therefore, I can say that the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle C is equal to 180. Substitute my values in, subtract 65 from both. The measure of angle B is equal to 115 degrees. And angle B are supplementary. I can say the measure of angle D plus the measure of angle B is equal to 180 degrees. Substitute, subtract 111 from both sides. Divide both sides by 3, and we get A is equal to 23 degrees. Since the chord WY is the diameter of the circle, since it goes through the center of the circle, point O, we know that angle WXY is a right angle. Therefore, we could say the measure angle X is equal to 90 degrees. Since the measure angle X is equal to 5x, we can substitute that value in, divide both sides by 5, x is equal to 18. Name two pairs of congruent angles. Since angle WXZ and angle WYZ have the same intercepted arc, we know those two angles are congruent. We also know since XWY and angle XZY have the same intercepted arc, that those two angles are congruent. Since we know the measure of a circle is 360 degrees, when we add the measures of all three arcs DF, FG, and GD, we cover the entire circle. They gave us the measurements of two of the arcs, so let's substitute those values in. Combine like terms, subtract both sides by 190, and we have the measure of arc DF is equal to 170. The measure of the inscribed angle is equal to half the measure of its intercepted arc. Half of 170 is 85 degrees.